What's up, boxing fans? This is TBE Boxing, back at you again. Today's topic: Vergil Ortiz versus Israil Madrimov on the road to redemption. The TBE Boxing pre-fight analysis. Let's chop it up and see what it's all about.
Got the money for minutes, pretty bitch, gotta show me titties. This is the life that I chose, huh? On the block with the pole, huh? This is the life that I chose, huh? On the block with the pole, huh? This life before Richard, huh? And I got the glitzy run up on me, I'ma make you get it. I'ma make you get it.
Okay, boxing fans, let's talk some boxing. We're gonna chop it up. Today we're gonna be talking about the Vergil Ortiz versus Israil Madrimov fight. We're going to take a look at it, see who we think is going to win that fight. And, it should be an interesting fight. So we're going to chop it up. All right, so let's talk about it. Well, the last time we saw both of these fighters, we saw Madrimov against Crawford, the pound for pound king, and we saw Vergil Ortiz against Boachuk, another one of those Eastern European fighters, similar to Madrimov, but not necessarily in their fighting styles. Right? They're both from the Eastern Europe part of the world. Uh, in terms of the fight between Madrimov and Crawford, Madrimov did himself proud in that fight. He represented himself well. He was able to go the distance and put up a pretty good fight against Crawford. In other words, he didn't get washed or beat down or anything like that. He got defeated, but he did respectable against Crawford. Okay, some may even say extremely respectable. For Vergil Ortiz, we can't say the same thing in his last fight. I mean, we can give him props, for one thing in that fight, in terms of his ability to get back up after getting knocked down. But he was knocked down twice in that fight, I believe, and some might say that he even lost that fight. Me personally, I probably would have called that fight a draw. Based on the performance of Boachuk, I don't think he should have lost based on that fight. I think that they should have gave him a draw and let these guys, fight out again to get a winner that was, beyond any shadow of a doubt. Right? So do you have people saying that Madrimov saying that Boachuk won that fight, and some are saying that Vergil Ortiz won the fight. I just told you what I thought about the fight. Okay, uh, Vergil Ortiz had to get up off the ground, uh, to win that fight, and it shows that he does have grit. Okay, being knocked down twice because he was hurt very badly in that fight. So the fact that he was able to get up and still quote unquote win the fight says a lot about his character and his toughness. He's a tough kid. Now, the question is who's going to win between them two in their upcoming fight, that is Vergil Ortiz and Madrimov. And I would think, based on the way Madrimov performed against Crawford, he did very well, right? Extremely well, some would say. And I'm just thinking that even though on paper, if we look at the paperwork, Vergil Ortiz should win that fight because he's the more experienced fighter, 22-0, 21 knockouts. Okay, uh, Madrimov is 10-1-1. Okay, so based just on the paperwork and their records, uh, Vergil Ortiz have a big advantage against Madrimov. But based on their performance, okay, in the ring against quality opponents, one being Boachuk for Vergil Ortiz and the other being Terence Crawford, the pound for pound king, we'll have to say that I would give Madrimov the edge in that fight between him and Ortiz based on his performance against Crawford, okay, and based on Ortiz's performance against Boachuk, okay. Uh, you know, Madrimov was very professional in there. like I said previously, he didn't get beat down or washed or whatever you want to call it. He put on a very respectable performance. You know, so he actually, even though he lost the fight, I think he came out of that fight with a lot more fans than he had when he went into that fight. Okay, a lot of people, a lot of eyes were on him, and Crawford is in a previous to Madrimov. Crawford was in an 11 fight, two division knockout streak. He was knocking people out from 140. He knocked out everybody in 147, and then he came to 154. And he went the distance with Madrimov. Right? Again, as I stated previously, Vergil Ortiz, even though he showed character and toughness in getting up off the ground, he did get knocked down twice by a boat truck. And like I said, some people would say he actually lost that fight. Me personally, I would have gave them a draw so that they both couldn't go back, come back again without anybody actually losing anything, because it was a tough fight. These guys were actually banging it out. But I have no problem with the people that said Vergil Ortiz lost this fight, really. I mean, I could actually see that. Okay. But you know how the judges are in these fights, and sometimes they get it right, sometimes they get it wrong. But, be that as it may, again, even though Ortiz is the better fighter on paper, I'm going to give the edge to Madrimov because of the intangibles and also because of the skill he displayed in the ring against the pound-for-pound king Terence Crawford. I don't think you can underestimate that because by rights, even though Crawford was moving up, some people are saying he should have knocked out Madrimov, who only have 10 fights. So, there it is. So, but that wasn't the case. Madrimov, like I said, performed very well. And I think that the problem that Ortiz is going to have against Madrimov is probably the same thing that Crawford had in terms of, foot speed. He has good power, and he's very quick. And he has an unorthodox style of fighting. It's not your regular style. It's very unorthodox. And, it can really give people problems in there. Now, it gave Crawford some problem, even though Crawford won the fight by unanimous decision. It was it was a clear win for Crawford. But again, Madrimov represented himself very well, and he put up a very good fight, even though he lost by unanimous decision. Okay. I think that based on that, he's going to give Vergil hell. I think that unorthodox style of herky-jerky type of style that he has, and the unorthodox way he throws some of his punches, his power, his speed, his size. He's a big, thick guy, like Canelo. I think that Vergil Ortiz is going to be in for a long night against Madrimov. Now, I could be totally wrong, and Vergil Ortiz goes in there and make it knockout number 21, but I don't think so. And what we're gonna have to look for is what's gonna happen when Madrimov lands a punch on Vergil Ortiz's chin. Is he gonna go down again? Who's the harder puncher, Madrimov or Vergil Ortiz? Who's more durable, Madrimov or Vergil Ortiz? Again, I would say that Madrimov is probably the more durable fighter because he got pummeled. I think he actually got hurt in the Crawford fight once or twice, but he was very. You wouldn't have known it if you're not watching the fight very closely, because he was able to, put on his poker face and did what he had to do and didn't, really look like he got hurt, but he did maybe once or twice. Again, in the case of Vergil Ortiz, he got knocked down, and there's no way you can miss that. There's no poker face that's going to help you with that. He got knocked down. He got hurt, visibly hurt, more than once, a couple of times, several times actually, and he almost lost the fight basically. If it wasn't for his toughness and his grit and his willpower, he would have lost that fight. Okay, and like I said already, a lot of people actually think he did lose the fight. Okay, so that's where that is. So this fight is gonna, tell a lot about these two fighters. I think this is the perfect fight actually for both guys. Okay, at this point in their careers, to test themselves against their opponents. And I think, yeah, this is a great matchup. I would think. Okay, I'm really looking forward to seeing this fight. I'm very interested in this fight. Whoever wins this fight will probably be fighting Crawford at some point. So if it's Madrimov, he gets another chance at Crawford again if he wants it. If it's Ortiz, after Crawford fight was offered, I don't know if he's going to want to fight Crawford. He's on record as saying Crawford is the best fighter in the world. So, I mean, besides himself, that is, he said, as an afterthought. When he said that, you can see that he was really thinking about Crawford is the best fighter. So I don't know how he would fare against Crawford, but for some reason I just don't think he would fare as good as well as Madrimov did. Okay, against Crawford. I'm thinking Crawford probably would have stopped Vergil Ortiz. But again, I'm not perfect, so I could be wrong about that. But this fight is definitely something to look forward to. I'm definitely not going to miss it, and you shouldn't either. It's a great fight. Make sure, as a matter of fact, the whole card is a massive card, so you should miss it. I definitely won't miss it. So, with that said, people, I'm going to leave it there. This is TBE Boxing. I'm out.
Got the money for minutes, pretty bitch, gotta show me titties. This is the life that I chose, huh? On the block with the pole, huh? This is the life that I chose, huh? On the block with the pole, huh? That's life before Richard, huh? And I got the glitzy run up on me, I'ma make you get it. I'ma make you get it.